Hey, so it's me, Nick Newey. So you guys might know that Deltarune is probably going to come out soon. My guess is that'll happen sometime in April. But like basically they moved chapter 3 and 4 to like porting and like play testing them on like the different ports, which is like the last step before it actually gets released. Okay, technically the last step before it gets released is choosing a release date and then making a release date trailer, and then maybe making another trailer if you want. But the point is, Deltarune is coming out soon, and that has got me thinking about my AU again, Deltalogan. So Deltalogan, I kind of made this as a joke back in 2024, um, but I'm thinking this is actually something I could realistically make. technically, I think if I'm going to make this is a project I would want help with because Nick and Lazuli is like a much more important project, and it's much easier to make, and I can do everything in Nick and Lazuli myself. This is the kind of thing where I might need help. Got to make a lot of game sprites and stuff like that, and it's just that's a lot of work. I don't want to do it. Um, so I just kind of wanted to talk about like the links I've made so far. By the way, for those of you wondering, I am working on episode 14. I am in cutscene mode right now, which means I am drawing one cutscene a day, which means I have loads of free time, but that I am making consistent progress because I'm doing it every day. So I'm kind of using this like spare time to like uh, flesh out my sort of more silly projects, and that's kind of another reason I want to go back to Deltalogan. Okay, so here I'm mostly just gonna like show you the list of characters. I want to choose a character for like every single Deltarune character. So like the worm in chapter 1 who like ate from like a tree. I'm gonna have to pair that to like an SML character, and it can be an obscure one, it could be a well-known one. It doesn't matter. I just want to pair every single Deltarune character to one of these characters, and then like draw some concept art for them. I think that's probably the best thing to do right away. Um, as you can see, the main ones I've chosen so far are Jeffy as Chris, Cody as Ralsei, and Susie as Joseph. I'll kind of like explain my reasoning as we read this. Um, So yeah, the main family: Asgore as Mario, Toriel as Rosalina, and Chris as Jeffy. So why did I not make Bowser Jr. Chris? Well, the reason I didn't make Bowser Jr. Chris is because the thought that really got me to sort of believe in some potential for Deltalogan was that the relationship between Bowser, Rules Card, and Lancer was actually quite similar to the relationship between like Bowser, Chef Pee Pee, and Junior. Um, so yeah, um, that's kind of why I did that. And also, I think Chris is a silent protagonist, so like people who hate Jeffy might be willing to play this because Jeffy's gonna be shutting up for the most of it. Um, yeah, so it's like, yeah, this is kind of logic there. Um, I have Azriel as Phoebe. I don't know if this is gonna be final. I might make Azriel Scooter in the final version. Either Phoebe or Scooter. That's kind of what I think Azriel should be. Okay, so Susie is Joseph. Um, Now with Susie being Joseph, I kind of want to go for. Actually, you know what? I should take a brief moment to say when I make the Deltalogan game, if that ever does happen, what I imagine it would be is essentially just the personalities of the SML characters playing out the roles of the Deltarune characters in the story. So it's like Cody would just act like Cody. he wouldn't act like Rousey. He would act like Cody, but he'd take Rousey's place in the thing. So with Joseph being Susie, I want to go with like the older version of the characters, like sort of their older personality traits, like the plushy era personalities. But I do think that puppet Joseph's personality is a bit more fitting towards Susie. You know, like Susie's just kind of like this gruff, this like tough figure, and then and then like old Joseph was kind of like a lot more like I don't know. I guess he was just, his character was the kid with braces. I'm out of here, dude. Yeah, kind of like that. Um, I do think I could make that personality for Joseph work with Susie, because I mean, there's still stuff like okay, so like Susie and Lance are together for like the entirety of Chapter One. Joseph and Junior will be together through the entirety of Chapter One. They'll kind of be like insulting Cody in ways that don't entirely make sense. Just like Susie and Lance are insulting Rousey in ways that don't entirely make sense. You know, just kind of like that dynamic. Um, yeah, Rousey's Cody. I feel like that's pretty explainable. The training dummy. This is what I meant when I said I want to pair everyone to someone. The training dummy is going to be Ken. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Rousey's Cody. The training dummy's Ken. Makes sense. King is Bowser. Rules card is Chef Pee Pee. And Lancer's Bowser Jr. This does, however, mean that we will be seeing less of Bowser Jr. as the thing goes along, and he is like one of, if not the main SML character. So, I mean, there's some give and take here, but I do think I can tell a story with Joseph and Cody. Um, okay, this one, okay, this one I'm not entirely sure about. Queen as Mr. Goodman. I did draw Mr. Goodman as Queen. I'm probably not going to show you guys the art in this video, like the concept art I have of everyone. But I guess my logic was that since Queen had like the biggest mansion we've seen so far, it would be fitting to make her Mr. Goodman. And also, I just think, you know, because like Queen swears sometimes, so like I just think like Mr. Goodman, he's like the character who swears the most in SML. And I just think it will be kind of funny to see Mr. Goodman floating around in his throne wearing a thong and like sipping out of a martini glass or whatever. I just think that visual is funny. And so I kind of based a lot of the characters in Queen's Mansion around like the characters who live in Goodman's Mansion, like his butlers and maids and stuff. Um, this one I'm not entirely sure about, for a very particular reason. Task Manager as Patricia, like his maid. I am very uncertain about this. Not because I don't think the character choice is fitting, but because I hate the fucking jokes people are going to be making about this shit. Because I actually like Task Manager as a character, and I don't want her to be tainted by the fact that Patricia's one joke in SML is, "Oh, let me thank you. Oh, let me thank you." I don't like that. But it's like the only character choice that fits, so I feel like I kind of have to go with it. Task, these are like a swarm enemy. For now, I just chose that they're like that cross between a woolly mammoth and a Shih Tzu he had in that one episode. Apparently, it was revealed that was just some normal dog, and the woolly mammoth stuff was just stuff Goodman made up or whatever. Um, I mean, also, I guess the tasks being Logan's cats could also be funny. I don't know about that. Um, I have Swatch as Chives. So Swatch was he was the shopkeep in Queen's Mansion. He was the guy who kind of looked like Spampton. I have him as Chives. Swatchling, generic Goodman Butler. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. They'll just make them like Chives recolors or something. Okay, this one. Sweet Captain and Cakes. This one is not a final decision. I have them as Brack Roshi, Tyrone, Cody's dad, and Jamal. Um, although I might, instead of Jamal, I might make this Dougie, so you have Black Yoshi and Dougie. I mean, that could also work. I could do that. Just because Jamal isn't used very much. Um, I guess a lot of people are thinking why I did that. Look, it's not my fault. All right, it's not my fault. These are prominent characters in Super Mario Logan, and they just can't help themselves. They need to do their stereotype humor. So like, it's not my fault. It's just the way. It's just. I mean, that's kind of the reason why these aren't final decisions. But like, yeah, I also think like their theme kind of sounds a bit like Black Yoshi's music, like the doom doom tsh, da doom da doom tsh, doom doom tsh, da doom da doom tsh. It's kind of like that. So I feel like it would work. Um, but at the same time, I'm half expecting there to be a Yoshi reference in Chapter 3. So I think that will be the big deciding factor on if this is final. And also I think I do want to replace Jamal with Dougie just because. Okay, the Holiday family. So I think the most obvious choice was to make Noelle Penelope, right? Junior's girlfriend. It it was the most logical choice to make Noelle Penelope. I mean, they already kind of look similar. Like Penelope's got that sort of like checkerboard shirt that like Noelle also has, and it's also she's like the one girl. She's like the one girl at their school, so it's like, I don't know. It made sense to me. Which would of course make Rudy Holiday Brooklyn guy, and that makes a lot of sense because Rudy and Asgore are good friends. C Holiday, that would make C Holiday Karen, and I don't know about that. I don't know about C Holiday being Karen. That just, I mean, I could roll with it. This is more of a humor based AU than anything, so I could roll with it. And then of course I have Des, Noelle's sister. Okay, 90% of you aren't gonna know who this guy is. But there was like an episode of Super Mario Logan where Brooklyn guy did bring your son to work day. So he brought his son to work. And then I think it was like Black Yoshi killed him because it had something to do with Call of Duty. Um, that is like the only character I can think to make Des Holiday. We need to put Does Bad Things guy as a character here somewhere. We do. Okay, this is another obvious choice. Birdley is Harry. So it's like Harry's kind of like, uh, people might have forgotten Harry. People might have forgotten Harry. Basically, there was a period of time. It was during the virus where it was like Pablo wasn't recording with them a whole lot. So they got a replacement character, Harry, to take his place, who I think was voiced by Lance. Um, and like the consensus is that he's just kind of like the annoying smart guy, and Birdley is the annoying smart guy, so it just makes sense. Okay, this choice right here, the secret boss, Jevil. Instead of making him Craig, Craig's the name of the devil in SML. Instead of making him Craig, I made him Craig Jr. And I think the big reason I did that is because there aren't a lot of characters that, like, Craig himself would pair with really well. Um, Craig doesn't have a lot of friends because he's the devil, right? So, so I decided, between the two of them, Craig Jr. had a lot more energy. He was a lot more chaotic. He just kind of like went around causing chaos in the episode he was in. And also, I feel like it would be really fun to sample his like voice lines, like the ba da ba 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 boo and the I want you start your file, like stuff like that. That would be really fun to edit into a boss fight or something. And so I have Sham as Craig. And I feel like that also makes sense because I can just make Sham's shop Craigslist. Because, like, in the SML lore, Craig canonically started Craigslist, which is just kind of funny to me. Yeah, so we have that. The other secret boss, Spampton. Hansel the homeless guy. I have considered making him Mr. Goodman because he was a big shot, but Spampton's character is kind of like after he was a big shot. So of course, like Hansel's the homeless guy who would like hang out in a dumpster. Spampton's the homeless guy who would hang out in a dumpster. It just kind of makes sense. Cheeseburger man. And instead of saying he wants him to be a big shot, he says he wants him to be a cheeseburger man. Cheeseburger man. Oh, cheeseburger man. I'm sorry, cheeseburger man. I really like Hansel. I don't know most people's opinion on Hansel, but I think he's a pretty funny character. Okay, Alphys. Alphys I have as Jackie Chu just because she's the teacher of the classroom, so it'd fit with some of the other kid characters I have chosen. Jockington I have as PJ Crenshaw. PJ Crenshaw, pair of jammies Crenshaw. I could make him Roy Gethard, but I just think PJ Crenshaw, pair of jammies Crenshaw is funnier. Okay, this one is definitely not final. Temmie as Mr. Pig. This is not final, and I do actually think Precious the Rapper might be like a better choice for this. But then again, I don't know how much I want to have Logan's like real life pets be these characters, especially if Temmie ends up being important in the story. I did consider making the worm from chapter 1 Mr. Wormy. I just don't know how much I'd want to make these characters like the live action pets. That just feels weird. Monster Kid I have as Patrick. He's so crazy. And then Snowdrake I have as Toad. Slash Little T. He's gonna be Toad. Actually, I could make Toad and Little T two different characters. And then have Little T be part of Black Yoshi's group. Oh, but that would already be making a new character. And we'll figure it out. I'll see what happens when like chapter 3 comes around. Cuz I think there are going to be Yoshi references in that, and so I might be able to figure out this distribution a little bit better. Toad and Little T are basically two different characters. But yeah, right now I have Snowdrake as Toad. Okay, the cat family. Okay, so the thing is, I'm pretty sure Caddy, the one who goes to school and is in Chris's class, I imagine those names are pronounced exactly the same. I imagine Caddy's personality is going to be more akin to Bully Bill. I'm pretty sure that character is going to be important in a future chapter. And the personality feels like it fits Bully Bill a little bit more. But I need to take into account the entire cat family. And when I do that, they're the fucking Huckerdoos, right? They're the Huckerdoos, right? I made the caddy who's probably going to be important, Timmy, just because he's the only one who actually gets to do anything. But yeah, it's just like I see the dad in Hometown, and I'm like, that's fucking Hank Huckerdoo. That is Hank Huckerdoo. That purple cat with the Nickelodeon Doug reference in his broken grill. That's Hank Huckerdoo. That's who he is. Okay, this one is decidedly not final. Nancy, the main fucking antagonist of SML, I have paired to Bratty. That is not a final decision. That is decidedly not a final decision. That is not a final decision. And I'll tell you why. They since I made this plan, they have made a lot of characters that would fit Bratty's personality quite well. I mean, they did have the creepy lunch lady. I don't know if I want to incorporate the creepy lunch lady into this. But they also have a Brooklyn guy's mom, who's like a very crass, rude old woman. And I feel like that would fit Braddy's personality. I don't know though. This one is. I mean, I could make Braddy sparkle. Sparkle. I need you. I stole this Lamborghini so that you'll talk to me like that character. I could make it that character, but that is just decidedly not a character. The Icy's crew. The setting of Icy, I was planning on making McDonald's. And so for that, we have the warrior. He's got like this big imposing presence. I was gonna make the warrior like Ronald McDonald, and I just kind of combined him with Icy because Icy is the mascot and it's like whatever. Um, I was gonna. I had a plan on making like the Blue Ears Rabbit guy or whatever his name is. He probably has like an actual name. I've considered making him Steve Staleburger. This is decidedly not final. Um, Burger Pants as Jonathan Guy makes a lot of sense. Brooklyn Guy's brother, Jonathan. Him being Burger Pants makes a lot of sense. Purple Guy is Mr. Winkle. I mean, it works. I don't know if I want to make that joke, but like, it works. I mean, they made him the other purple guy, so okay. Um, this is another decision that is not final. So you have the church, right? And so what I have listed here is Gerson Boom as Judge Pooby and Father Alban as Judge Anthony. This is decidedly not final. I'm pretty sure the church will play a role in Chapter 4, so I'll see what the best choice of character is. Okay, so these are two choices I'm pretty happy with. Undyne being the M&M police chief, and Napstablook being Simmons. I'm pretty happy with that, just because they are the cops in SML, so. Okay, the criminal dogs. I basically just had to choose, like, random criminal characters from SML. And these are definitely not the final choices for which criminals these are going to be. For now, I chose Bubbles, Face Eater, the goon from Jeffy Wick, the other goon from Jeffy Wick, and the Lone Dolphin. Doggo as the Lone Dolphin is decidedly not final, because the Lone Dolphin has a lot more character than these other guys. I think Bubbles as the greater dog makes sense because he is the most prominent of the dog gang, and Bubbles, he just as a character does not exist outside the prison cell. Bubbles is just the prisoner. So yeah, that's kind of, these are not final choices. The Royal Guard Bros, I was gonna make Officer Top and Officer Bottom. SML hasn't used these characters in a while. They're like, they were backup essentially. Like I think there was like one joke where Brooklyn Guy brought them in as backup, because he couldn't tell who was responsible for stealing a PlayStation 5 or something, and the joke behind them is that they're just gay. That's the joke. They're gay. So yeah, that's why. C round, dog coin, whatever you want to call him, dog checker. I was gonna make him Chompy the Chain Chomp, and that makes sense. This is Chapter 1. It heavily focuses on Bowser. Him being Bowser Jr.'s pet makes a lot of sense. Top Chef. Okay, so I had a few different ideas for Top Chef. I think originally I kind of wanted to make him Luigi just because of the Italian vibes, but I realized it's probably better for him to be either Gordon Ramsay or Chef Poo Poo. I'm not sure which one. If I make him, it might be a good idea to make him Chef Poo Poo, because Chapter 1 already heavily features Chef Pee Pee. So that could work. Clover. Ping and Pong. Juna, you take good care of them. They are my only two daughter. So these are like Jackie Chu's only two daughter. Um, I put not final here because there's only two of them, but I actually do think that is a good choice for Clover. I might keep that. Ooh, the hacker, Cheat Clapper 1233. I think he was a character in like one episode that Jeffy had like a Fortnite battle against. I think these background characters are definitely going to be like one-time appearance characters, and I think that's completely fair. Mouse. Okay, so the mouse is the mice, mouses in Deltarune 2. I'll go with them the rat from that one episode where he was like, blum 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 blum, and like he just like ate cheese while making a funny noise. I don't know. And then Mouse Million, the sophisticated one. I was gonna make him Remy from the Ratatouille video. Little ball. Okay, this is like a little ball in chapter 1. Uh, yeah, it was like a little ball in chapter 1 that like sweated or something, like a little sweat mark above his head, and it was like next to one of the chests with like a coat rack guy. Um, I have him listed as Kirby here. Like Kirby, I guess, is an SML character, whatever. Okay, Jigsaw Joe. I kind of like this. I kind of like Jigsaw Joe as Mobot, the manners teaching robot. Pay me $100 and I will teach your son some manners. I did like that episode, Brooklyn Guy's Robot. Or wasn't Jeffy's Robot? Because it was a Brooklyn Guy episode, but it had Jeffy in the title, didn't it? Okay, Chapter 1 Worm, I do have listed as Wormy. I feel like making that one of the live action pets is fine because it's a very one-off character. It's not in your face about it being a one of the real life pets. Okay, so then we have the block guys. There was the guy who kept saying everything with a B, and oh, then there was the go who used O's. He used O's. I kind of have them listed here as Junior Junior and Chaz from Chef Pee-Pee's Kids. Junior Junior. Chaz. Okay, that's just. I just think the visual's funny. Big Mouth Nurse Monster. Just have it as Nurse Jackie. Nurse Jackie is just the nurse Brooklyn guy speaks to sometimes. I have Terry as Roy Gethard because he went to the Super Bowl and he didn't have to pay for anything. And so the Ice Crap Trio will be some random girls that Roy's dated in the series. Because he went to the Super Bowl, but he didn't have to pay for anything. That's, yeah. Smith Malleus. Cristobal's. I think that works. Smith Malleus. He's like the blacksmith with the big hammer for the face. Okay. This is decidedly not final. I think I am going to change my mind on this. Jigsari being Goomba. I think I'm going to make the Hathies the Goombas and the Rudins the Koopa Troopas. Because they're kind of like, they're like the ones that you actually find in Card Castle. So it's like they should be Bowser's troops. That just makes sense to me. Hubert is Spike. Who the hell is Spike? He's not even an SML character, so this one is decidedly not final. I just think it would be really funny if the guy everyone loves was like the guy from that one episode where Cody didn't know who the fuck he was. It also works because I think SMG4 uses Spike a lot, and that's like a similar series. Deleted Vessel. So this is the vessel you make at the beginning of the game. I was going to make that drawing Jeffy. Like the, I got a mayonnaise cap on my head. So we have that. These are not final. these last four here, these are not final, but these are like big lore characters. So I currently have them paired to specific characters, but these are not necessarily going to be my final choice. Wario and Waluigi appeared occasionally in Super Mario Logan back during the Nintendo days. They were not heavily used characters. I think they were like in a charity episode where they like pretended to be a charity just so they could get Mario's money, and then they were used in like the old SML, which is just not the same show at all. Um, Gaster, I have listed as Mama Luigi. Mama Luigi, I think this is fitting because Mama Luigi is a character from like the super old SML that people still remember quite fondly. And I have to say, like I have not seen every single really old SML video, but I have seen Mario and Luigi's Stupid Dumb Adventures. I like Mama Luigi as a character. Like they were like 10 when they were writing that series. I don't know how old they were, but Mama Luigi was a funny character. He was a very funny character. I remember the episode where he was like they were going to save Princess Peach and he was like the Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza absolutely. I made a SpongeBob reference, I don't know. And then I have the annoying dog as Shit Ash, Jeffy's dog. Hey, poop butt, what doing? Shit ass or poop butt. He's the paralyzed dog that Jeffy had as a pet. Uh, they have not used shit ass in a long time. I think they might have canonically killed shit ass. You know why I think that? Is because the last time we saw him was Jeffy's swimming lessons, where the pool's not killing animals, I'm killing animals. And he killed the freaking, like, Brooklyn guy killed shit ass. And we never saw him again. And usually those deaths aren't canon, but I guess it was that time. Okay. Alright, okay, so here I have some places listed. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna worry about this too heavily because I think a lot of them are just gonna look exactly like the Deltarune places, the Deltarune rooms. I'm not gonna be too serious about this, but I might I might make some things different. So like Jeffy's house, I'm gonna make look like Jeffy's house, I think. And then Bowser's castle, I think I'm gonna make look like one of the SML houses. I might make it the modern version just because it's the most iconic, but I also have the choice of making it look like the apartment. The modern one has like the blue walls and stuff, which I think would stand out really well. And of course, I want to make the King's Throne the SML couch. That just feels fitting. So yeah, I kind of have some places here. None of these are too serious. I mean, like, Wells Manager's Brooklyn guy's house. Cody's house is the Huckerdoo house. Asgore's Flower Shop is Mario's power-up store. So he'd be selling power-ups instead of flowers. I guess they're technically flower power-ups, but that's besides the point. IC's is going to make McDonald's. QC's Diner is going to make Applebee's, which means QC should probably be Clarissa. Clarissa was a character in like those Applebee's episodes where it was like Brooklyn guy just annoyed her the whole time. So I'll probably make QC like Clarissa. That just makes sense to me. Sans' house, Wario and Luigi's house. That's pretty self-explanatory. SML jail, SML hospital, random library. I don't know. School, YU Dome Elementary. I guess that's one of the more iconic SML locations. The church, I was kind of planning on making Judge Pooby's courtroom. That is not a final decision. It's just they use the courtroom a lot, and I just think that's a setting that could translate into courtroom pretty well. And then these are a lot of, like, just kind of places, like, actually in the thing. Yeah, Sham Shop is Craigslist. Rules Card Shop is the kitchen. Lancer's room is Bowser Jr.'s room. I do want to make a sprite for a Thomas bed, but I might not be able to do that just because I think that's Bowser's most iconic bed. King's throne room, the red couch room. I have put here that it's the only colored furniture, but I might not. I might not. I might not make that like my final decision. Cyberfield. Yeah, okay. None of these are paired to anything. Spampton's shop is Hansel's cardboard box, and then Spampton's dumpster is a dumpster, and then Queen's Mansion is Goodman's Mansion. Although I might make the Queen's Mansion look like Queen's Mansion, I might not make it look like Goodman's Mansion, just because I don't feel like Goodman's Mansion is a very iconic SML location. It has a lot of muted colors and such, and it's just a place that exists essentially. Okay, ones I have not decided. Diamond King, Hearts King, and Clubs King. Yeah, so these are like the guys in the cages. I mean, they should probably be like a notable Koopa or Goomba from the Mario games. And then Clubs King, I think I could make the Clubs King Ping and or not Ping and Pong, Ding and Dong, Ping and Pong's girlfriend boyfriend. Yeah, Everyman, don't have a character paired to Everyman. Oh, I have Sweet Cap and Cakes here because I guess it's just I'm not final on those. Mr. Elegance could pair well to Woody, but I am 100% waiting on Chapter 3 for that one. I am 100% waiting for Chapter 3 because I know the secret boss is going to be Woody. It's going to be Woody. It's going to be Woody. I don't have anyone paired to Mr. Society. I don't think it's a smart idea to make Bully Bill the original Star Walker. We see him so little. Onion Sen as Cody's mom would be funny, though. Because there was the visual at the end of that one episode where the whale came out of the water and it was just Cody's mom. So, like, that could work. Onion Sen could be Cody's mom. Bloxor? Maybe Mr. Potato Head? Yeah, okay, I have the Hathies here, but the Hathies are probably going to be the Goombas, which means the Jigsaw is actually the one I wouldn't know who they'd be. Anyone paired to Pawn Man or Rabbit? I mean, I guess Rabbit could be Thumper. Hoi hoi hoi. Pippins. Oh yeah, the guys who the fighting wasn't in the cards for us. Scissor Dancers, Coat Rack Man, Star Walker Bird, Block Tree. I don't know if this counts as a character. Ambulance, Pop Up. Oh, Pop Up. I think it might be cool to make Pop Up Mr. Sharky. I don't think I'm going to make him the Lone Dolphin because I want to save the Lone Dolphin for like a special occasion. But I do think it would be fitting to make Pop Up Mr. Sharky. Yeah, jeez, yeah. That's not technically an SML character. I know that's like a crossover or whatever, but like I don't know. They referenced it in a recent video. I think it'd work. Werewire, Vira Werewire. Yes Men, Wig Robot, Icon Man, Icon Lunch Friend, Gimmick Saucer, Plug Boy, Trashy, Edison, Bomb, Error, Dragon Dead, Bomb Dead, QC, maybe Gordon Ramsay. No, QC should be Clarissa. Dragon Kid, other Dragon Kid, Hat Monster, Ficus Liquor, Fire Elemental, Ice. Like, I was not kidding. I was not kidding when I said that they were going to be, like, oh yeah, there was a waitress lion. Oh yeah, maybe that should be Clarissa. Yeah, okay, that might be the intention there is like Gordon Ramsay and Clarissa. Politics Bear. Mr. Pig's Paw. Yeah. Anyone I didn't mention by name. Okay, so these are some These are some characters I don't really have paired to anyone. And yeah, these are some characters that like I don't have pairable to. I wonder how many people have never seen SML and they're just laughing at the names here. eh. I would like to use Gumbo. Junior's imaginary friend Gumbo. That's so de fatso. Charlie. Okay, so here's another thing. The main antagonist of Chapter 3 might pair well to Charlie. We'll have to see. Because Charlie and Doofy the Dragon, they're both television references, right? So I want to wait for Chapter... I want to wait for Chapter 3 to see if we get some good, like, television references to the point where I could put Charlie and Doofy the Dragon in. I don't give a shit. I'm putting Doofy the Dragon in. I don't give a shit if this ends up on Good Morning America. It's not for them. If Woody Theory turns out to be true, I already know which character I'm going to pair with him. Yeah. Shrek is also a character I really want to pair to someone. So like these are kind of like the classic characters that's sort of been neglected over the years. Shrek, Woody, and Tony the Tiger. These guys are like classic characters that have sort of been neglected as time went on. And like you see Shrek occasionally, you see Woody less occasionally. You just don't see Tony at all. They don't have anything with Tony anymore. Granted, I think Jeffy kind of replaced Tony as a character. Like, what Tony was is kind of what Jeffy became. Just kind of the slow fella who mentions poop all the time. It's kind of what Jeffy is. I think they were trying to capture... I think when they introduced Jeffy, they were trying to recapture the magic of Mario and Tony, but it just didn't work because... Jeffy was like a kid that he was just kind of forced to take care of, instead of like an adult tiger when it was funnier, I guess. So yeah, that's kind of my ideas for Deltalogan right now. One thing I am doing right now is I'm kind of remaking some of the rooms in Deltarune in RPG Maker. That's my turf. I'm not using Game Maker. I'm using RPG Maker. I don't give a shit if I can't do cool bullet hell segments. I'm using RPG Maker because that's the shit I like. That's the stuff I'm comfortable with. I realize, yeah, I can't do bullet hells and that, but... No matter. No biggie. No big D. Super D. Yeah, Super D would have to be fair to someone. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess I could go ahead and talk about, like, a few other things. So, like, the lore of Deltalogan. The lore of Deltalogan. So, of course, it won't be like base SML lore, because base SML lore is like, you know, Cody, Joseph Jr., they already know each other, and they already know Jeffy, and like Mario and Rosalina are together and stuff like that. The lore will kind of be split up and how the characters are split up. So like that means Karen Guy's the mayor now, which is interesting because we never see the SML mayor. I don't think. It'll just be Karen. It'll just be Karen Guy. What of it? Ugh. Jeffy will have a sibling of some kind. Didn't he have a sibling? Yeah, I think he had Jeffica. Oh yeah, Jeffica was like Jeffy's actual sibling, and Jeffica was from the time that he was with Mario and Rose. Huh, I wonder if I should make Jeffica. I wonder if I should make Jeffica Azrael. Huh. That might be nice. Um, kind of have it distributed like that. I'll still have the dark worlds and stuff. Um, I might make a joke about Cody being in the closet because he's in the closet dark world. Just think that's a good joke. It's a funny joke to make. Um, so basically, what you have is instead of the dark fountains, you have the cursed fountains. And the cursed fountains, they're called that because they're the fountains of curse words and other assorted mature themes. So you have these, and you have the main one in the Castle Dark World, and like this one's fine because it's just the right balance of curse words and mature themes to give SML that like little spite it needs. Um, but then other cursed fountains open up, and they threaten the stability of the universe because uh Nintendo's something. Nintendo's something. I don't want to just call it Nintendo's heaven or Nintendo's hell. I don't think that makes sense. I'd have to choose like a new word, but like I don't know. Nintendo's something. They're going to seal the cursed fountains and banish Nintendo's something. Uh, and the roaring, instead of the roaring, you have the lawsuit. And the lawsuit, it doesn't change Darkners to stone. It changes Nintendo characters into not Nintendo characters anymore. So like Joseph will become Joseph with like a t-shirt and like a hat and whatever and be black. And then Cody will turn into like Cody with the pizza face. Um and then Lancer will turn into Junior with like the little tuft of hair on his head and horns for some reason. uh it will turn all the non-Nintendo character. It'll turn all the Nintendo characters into non-Nintendo characters. Is basically what the roaring will do. The lawsuit. Um, Now, granted, because the last chapter of Deltarune is going to take so long to come out, we might even get the Rapture beforehand. Um, because that's going to take so long to come out, uh, I do not know uh how like the ending of Deltalogan will affect that. I don't the ending of actual Deltarune will affect that. I don't know. Um so I think I can make the maps pretty well and also the game events pretty well. So like I'd basically be the one like piecing everything together in like RPG Maker. If I were to accept help with this project, I think the main things I need help with are character sprites. Because I can't use my Nick and Lazuli style character sprites for them. I might be able to get away with doing that with like the human characters, but I would not be able to get away with doing that for like uh what's his name, Cody, or what's his name, Joseph, or any of those characters. I don't think I'd be able to get away with like my Nick and Lazuli style of characters for that. Um I mean, I could try something. Maybe something would work. I don't know. Uh, I'm a little tired in real life. That's probably the biggest thing I need help with. And then the other thing is music. Because here's the thing about music. I am terrible at copying themes. I am terrible about taking music and like copying it in beatbox or whatever. I can make my own music in beatbox okay. Um but like here's the thing, I don't understand things like chord progression, and I don't understand like I don't understand a lot of stuff about music theory. I just kind of like put stuff in change it up to where it sounds better, and then go with that, right? I just kind of like let my music making process flow. So it's like I don't I don't have the same skill and talent as someone like Toby Fox does. But like I've seen these crazy Deltarune fan remixes, and I would love to hear some with like Super Mario Logan melodies and stuff. I I just I just think that'd be really cool. It just I just think that'd be really cool. And also you gotta have the cat piano. You gotta have the cat piano in some of the tracks as well. You have the meow 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 meow. You gotta have something like that. When my syndrome is down low and the green beans start to show, and the daddy that I know, he is fucking high. There's a pencil in my nose, drawing goofy Jeffy clones with these words I hold inside my heart. Doodle doo. Doodle pencil fart. Yeah, like that. Kind of like that. Like that will be the lullaby. That will be like the lullaby at the end of the game. I've been thinking about. I know I've been thinking, like, legitimately, like, serious about this. I'm fucking serious about this AU. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. All right. This is a magnum. This is gonna be my magnum opus. No, this is probably more important to me than Nick and Lazuli. You know what? I don't even think I'm gonna finish episode 14. I'm just gonna work on this. I'm just gonna work on this, and then you'll get episode 14. Once all of Deltalogan is done, even after chapter 7. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for chapter 7, and then you'll get episode 14 of Nick and Lazuli. This, I'm gonna put all my time and effort into this fucking AU because it, it, it when the syndrome is down low.